Okay, waiting for the video clip to start.
Welcome everyone. Today we have another new episodes and we have a new economic sessions. And today we're going to discuss on women empowerments, how women contributing in economy in Asia Pacific, in India, in Bangladesh, and many other countries. And especially in GDP growth, women has very good contribution in developing economy. But how actually this kind of GDP and other things working in this country, this is very important for us. So we have our very important guest today. We have Shunakta Banerjee from All India Radio. She is very famous in India.
Have to have the crowd give her applause.
Yes, we have our Shakila Sharmin Suzan from Bangladesh, and she has engagement with small medium enterprise. And we have more guests. I think we are waiting for them. Shakila, can you open your video? And we have our Professor Nick. He is actually CEO of IBM Television. And we have Orpita.
Oh, we got a lot of people here today.
Yes,
Sharif.
yes. There is another chance that from Iran, also another guest may be joined. Let's see. So, hello everyone. How are you today? I want to start with Professor Nick. Yes, introduce IBM Television with my new guest.
Oh, IBM United States of America. I'm Nick Palavita. I'm the professor at the Graduate Tax Program at Northeastern University in Boston, where I've been lead faculty for 10 years now. So I teach at Northeastern, I work at IBM TV, and we broadcast globally. So right now, we're in about 122 countries that are at IBM TV, and we're very interested in building bridges between us and other countries, finding out what's going on. As a matter of fact, Sharif woke me up one day about what's going on in Malaysia. And I'm sitting there going, wait, Malaysia? Because in the United States, where's Malaysia? So I had to go to my little globe back there, find out where Malaysia is. And then he told me all the good things that are happening about how they're containing coronavirus and other things that go on. So he runs the Sharif School of Economics, so I'm here to listen and learn from the United States of America.
Yes, thank you, Professor. So, can you please, Shinakta Banerjee, right? Can you please introduce yourself? I know you are very famous in media, so maybe we can do a lot of work in future. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so very much for having me here. My name is Sanyukta Banerjee. I work for All India Radio. I'm stationed in Bhopal, which is the capital city of Madhya Pradesh, a state of India, and I'm a news broadcaster. So all my, life and engagement and profession surrounds around media and news. So that's all about myself. And yes, when you spoke about women empowerment. Yes, I do a lot of work for women empowerment as well, because I think it's my moral responsibility as well for a country like India. It's all pleasure.
Yes. Thank you. Orpita, can you please introduce yourself? And she is very hardworking and smart, and she is also finishing her PhD. She has different dynamic things and activities about economy, about India, and other things.
Thank you very much, Sharif sir. And I'm really pleased to share the platform with great personalities like you. And I would like to introduce myself. My name is Arpita Sneh. I'm currently a PhD research scholar, and I'm very much interested into gender issues. I'm currently working on women empowerment issues as well, and my keen interest is also into agriculture sector, the rural areas, and I would also like to develop India and develop the rural sector by contributing with my research studies. And on the other side, I'm very much into social work also. That's all about me. I'm by profession. I'm also a journalist. I I would like to do things for different kinds of gender if given a chance. And currently, in fact, I along with Sayukta Banerjee, we both are doing a lot of things into it. So
Yes, yes.
that's all.
One of the important things that I know that a country like India, a country like Bangladesh, even in Malaysia, actually, woman empowerment is a very important thing. And if we focus on the economical aspects, woman has very good contributions in economy. But how much we can convert in GDP, especially they have contribution in microeconomics, they have contribution in small medium enterprise, and they have very good contribution even household work. My I want to know like how women can be more efficient and effective in terms of economical aspects. Yeah.
Uh, See, there are some issues which, as women, we face, such as we cannot simply put our emphasis other than the gender equalities. Things are there, and there are inequality in wages. The way women work, they are not paid with their as per the efficiency. So I would like to focus on the income, wages, and the indiscrimination towards the genders. So by but demarcating all these things, we could more work more efficiently. And see, the basic, well, it is one of the very biggest problem which we as women have to face. We face migration, and in country like India, simply we cannot simply avoid this fact that as girls we have to move from places to places to study, to work, and after marriages. So see, this migration thing also is one of the biggest problem. So if we talk about the solution, we could do for the equal income wages. We could go for the equality of gender issues. And as women, as women, we also face the limited access to finance. So this should also be not be ongoing. So here are the issues which we can put our effort on. And by putting these effort, I guess we could bring ourselves up to the level which we really want to. And see, if the women, if get the chance, they can simply conquer the world, and in fact women are conquering.
Mhm.
So there are
Thank
some
you.
of the issues, yes,
Mhm.
which we
Thank you.
need to focus. Sure.
Yes, I want to go to the other guests. Before that, I want to introduce Shakila. Shakila, can you please introduce yourself? And I want your contribution that what you are doing in small medium enterprise. Yes.
Hi everyone, it's a pleasure, privilege, and honor to be here to share the global podium. Well, I would like to focus as a woman in the SME sector or in e-commerce or in BPO. In a developing country like Bangladesh, as a representative, I would say I would like to focus few specific areas, like as a woman. Uh, the way we are challenging and facing the barriers, the challenges, the obstacles, it's actually is increasing. I would not say it's increasing. Actually, it's decreasing by the ratio of uh, gradually. In this digitalization area, if we talk about women empowerment, women in tech field, women in SME sector, small medium enterprise, where we are actually focusing more women come to this sector to contribute for the growth of the economy of any country, of any nation. As a developing country or as a developing country like Bangladesh, we only have the contribution 20.25% of the total GDP. which is not actually in a significant way. It's a very less percentage, as we can see. Whereas if you see in the developed countries, the percentage is higher. So we actually need to focus on SME sector more, because the sector is completely negligible in the developing areas. So we should actually need to focus for the more economic growth. And after the pandemic, after the world crisis we are actually facing, we are actually all, not only in Bangladesh, I think it's a worldwide crisis moment to focus SME sector for the macroeconomic development, not only in Bangladesh, but also the whole world. So we are actually trying to focus on this area particularly, and we are actually working. We already have come to know by JBCCI, from JBCC Commerce, Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The Japan is going to invest in the high level in Asia. So Bangladesh is going to be benefited in lot more way in SME sector. So we are actually looking forward to it, to have such investment in the SME sectors. And technology is also very important. We right now in Bangladesh, we are actually launching e-commerce. We all know it's e-commerce. It's all about uh, digitalization. The whole world is globally digitally evolving, right? We all are connected globally, virtually. So e-commerce sector is another field, we need to focus, where we can have a digital marketplace. Like we have already launched a digital marketplace for SME products, where any small and medium entrepreneurs can sell their products through this marketplace, which is called oiko.com.bd. The name Oiko means unity. It's all about unity. We are actually united. It's not only about small enterprises. It's all about small, medium, macro enterprises. We also need to have the some MNC companies, the multinational global companies in Bangladesh. We also
Yes.
need their support, and they are actually supporting us. There are
Okay.
lots of alliances like Grameenphone, the parent company of Telenor, Grameenphone, with other some local and global banks. They
Okay.
are doing partnerships
Thank
to
you.
contribute to the economy.
We're going to
Thank
discuss
you.
more. We're going to discuss more because we have to give chance to our other guest. So, Shunakta, am I okay? My question is that you are also working woman, and you are playing a very important role, especially in media, and you are trying to solving different issues, because according to my knowledge, which is very important, that economy actually we have to create win-win situation both for man and women, right? So I want to know that how actually women contributing in the economy, especially the Indian economy, and how actually media playing role, because you are one of the famous personality from media. Yeah.
Before we discuss that how women are contributing in Indian economy, we need to understand the Indian economy itself. India is a developing country, plus India is an agriculture-based country. Most of the population, almost 63 to 70% of Indian population are rural. They live in rural areas. Their livelihood is dependent on agriculture, and women is notably mothers. If we talk about mothers, I mean, okay, they are working, they are not working is a different story, but they are mothers. They play the largest role in decision making about the family. It may be very small things. It may be planning for the meal, planning for the diet, encouraging your child to take your own decisions, be something in your life. But we are actually there, and I think that's where the whole crux is, because women self-report more often their initiative in preserving child health and nutrition. They may not directly relate to economy, but in longer run they do. Unless and until a country is healthy, unless and until a country is self-dependent and able to make decisions about themselves, it's not possible to be economically independent. One of the most important economic impacts of women's right is increased labor force participation. As Arpita was also saying, that women remain a largely underutilized source of talent and labor. It's not that we don't have the talent. It's not that we are not laborers. We are. I mean, the whole world agree to that. But the point is that we are underutilized. Now, why we are underutilized? We are underutilized because we have always been taught that you will become a mother in your future, you'll become a wife in your future. Maybe the chronological order is not right. You will become the wife and then become the mother and then become the daughter-in-law and blah, blah, blah. But the fact remains that that is not the proper utilization of the talent and things that a woman can do. So the problem, I think, that most of the women, not only in India but throughout the globe faces is that they are underutilized and they are mentally and physically trained as to be underutilized, and that's where the problem is. So we in media, as the other participant was also saying, that we need to work for small scale industries. We need to work for self-help groups. The work that is done is not sufficient, and we need to increase the quantum of it as well. So for that, again, we need to utilize the talent and labor, and again for that we need to condition the woman right from her birth, that you're capable of doing it. And it's not that the world is just restricted for the men and only the men will go and earn. You will also have to go out and earn. Another issue is that we talk about girl child education. Again, as I said earlier, that India is a developing country. Now, when a country is in a developing stage, we understand, because less of resources, more of population, the distribution of resources among this population is not sufficient. So obviously, education is a big key. Literacy rate are low. So when you, as a family, you ask your son to go out to school and study, you kind of try to refrain the girl child of the house to go out and study. Now, the scenario is changing. Education is taking place in even rural areas, and girl childs are going out. Government is doing their bit to educate their girl child. But again, the education is not converting into utilization of their talent and in employment. I mean, women may get educated, but they don't, utilize it to earn a livelihood. I think that conditioning is important to happen. So
Thank you.
that's where we are lagging.
Thank you. Thank you. I have to ask questions to other of our guests, especially. Okay, Professor Nick, what do you think? Yes, Professor Nick, what do you think? Because example, you are running a big televisions around the world. I think 122 countries
We're in
around the
122
world.
countries right
Yes,
now. Yeah.
yes. Right now they have access to IBM televisions.
Right.
How I observe all of your shows and everything, and I believe still women, we have to give more rights, more opportunity to women, and women actually underutilized, and economically their activities and other things not utilized properly according to the Bangladesh experience, India experience, and other countries experience. Still there are glass ceiling factors.
Yes.
What's your observation? You have a global connection around the world.
It's actually one of the United Nations 17 huge goals is to actually have what they call gender equality. And the thing is, we're supposed to develop a television show on gender equality. I'm not kidding. So the thing is, it's one of these things we're going to have to work on, Sharif, because we want to. That's the reason I was very excited that all these ladies showed up. I was going, when the student is ready, the master shows up. I was going, we were talking to our board the other day, and they said, well, we got to do a whole show on gender equality. Now it's going to be a weekly show just on gender equality. Problem is, we have no one to run the show right now. So since you three showed up, I was going, hey, perfect. showed up just in time, because it is a global issue. It's not limited to India, Bangladesh. It exists in the United States. We've seen some changes. I'm very impressed with all these people that you got, Sharif. I was going like, wow, hard to get. We've seen some changes. I'll give you an idea. When I went to law school many years ago, decades ago, that there weren't that many ladies that were in the law profession, which is really bad, especially when you're a young guy. You want to see more ladies in the law profession. Well, it's changed. Now they have about 50% of the lawyers in the United States are women that go into law school. and it's actually a good profession for they actually write they're just really great at it, and that's a great profession to go into for ladies to go into, as opposed to be a construction worker. I'm just letting you know, and they're really good at it. There's a lot of opportunities, but there aren't enough opportunities yet. So when your panel's discussing this, I go, I can't be a subject matter expert on gender equality because
Yeah.
I don't know that much about it. I sit on the other side of the fence. So I want to listen to what they have to say more than what I have to say because I don't know that much about it.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so
Yes.
they're good.
Yeah. But for because they have to know about you.
Yeah.
Actually, this
Oh,
professor is even from law backgrounds, but he is from Oxford and Harvard alumni, and he's doing fantastic job with IBM TV, and we are really happy that we get such a brilliant CEO who can run big things. Okay. Okay. So beside that, economy actually, we need a proper leadership for economy. We need proper people, those who can handle this gender inequality and other things. I want to ask Shakila. So, example, one of the questions about underutilizations of women, right? Especially economical aspects. What your views? What your understanding, because you are working with the rural peoples in Bangladesh, with the small medium enterprise. I'm more fan of Professor Nick know that I'm more fan of microeconomics, small things.
right.
Can you share some experience both from Bangladesh and India? India is a very big economy, I know, but still they have very interesting things, and they have billions of peoples. And Bangladesh has 160 million people. Shakila, can you share something? Can you unmute yourself?
She should be on.
Can
Okay,
you
you're
hear
Yes.
me now?
good. Yes, we're good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good. We can
Okay.
hear you. We're fine.
I would like to share, the recent study that found that Bangladesh has 17,000 plus micro enterprises, 15,000 plus small enterprises, and 6,000 plus medium, and 3,000 plus large scale enterprises, where a total of 5 million people are engaged. So you see, that the SMEs constitute 50% of the total number of microeconomic units in Bangladesh. So it's undoubtedly, this is the time actually we need to focus not only in rural but also in urban. The rural, urban, all the people need to work together to focus on these SME sectors. As I already told you that we have launched a digital marketplace where SME products can be sold out. In fact, they can sell even internationally, not only locally, not only in Bangladeshi people, but also out of the country. So this is a very big thing, I would say. And another thing I would like to say that at present SMEs account for about 45% of manufacturing value addition, 80% of industrial employment, 90% of total industrial units, and about 25% of the labor forces. So SME's contribution to export earnings even varies from 75% to 80%. So you see, it's all about SMEs, and I'm really very happy and glad to know that all the multinational companies are also coming together to work together with the SMEs, SME, and SME people, to contribute to the economy, to have the growth of the economy, which is a very big thing, I would say. And during this pandemic period and after the COVID-19 period, inshallah, hopefully, we are going to overcome this situation by
Excellent.
the contribution of the SME sectors to the economy of the nation throughout the whole world.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we have another case, Dr. Almira.
I don't see Dr. Almeida on right now.
Okay.
Not
Okay,
sure.
no problem. Okay, I directly want to go to Orpita. Like, how do you want to share your experience about India? Especially, I want to know more about the rural area. And I think you both of you are very experts about these micro contributions and how we can utilize women in a better economic way. How do we can solve many things together in a COVID-19 era?
Socially, if we talk, there is a large disparity between the richer section and the poor section. Rural sector, we have a large rural sector here in India, but if we talk about the ongoing changes, what are the developments going into the rural sector, it is also one of the truth that there are lot of startups and lot of microeconomic sectors, MESMs are also there, which are evolving, and there are solutions which are going to be made on ground level, such as by evolving the cottage industries, the small industries, the micro industries. In fact, the region in which I live, I'm talking about Bihar, there are also some of the uh, focuses and some of the groundwork which are ongoing into Bihar, and this see this industries are taken into the concentration a lot after this pandemic happens, because uh, if we talk about the pandemic section, I guess I could diversify and I could demarcate into two sections: the necessity, the essential commodities, the essential sectors, and the luxury sector. So we are hoping that in the developing countries like India, we will be more focusing into the essentialities, into the necessity things, and I hope the in the pace which the small sector industries are coming forward, as Shakila also said, the asmis thing. So we are hoping to develop more and more the startup companies, the small cottage industries. In fact, I was reading one of the articles which said that the rural areas are working a lot by the closed industries and the industrialized, which are not very much into action. They are being taken into the concentration. So I hope by taking the concentration into the cottage industries and small sector industries, we could contribute. And moreover, as a research scholar, I would say that more and more research work should be taken upon in the rural areas. This would enhance the all the information about the disparities and what are the problems. So, as a research scholar, I would also suggest that people should go into the rural sector and people should work at the ground level. So these are few of the solutions which we can opt for.
Thank you. Shunakta, I want to ask you questions like example, how technology play a role in the COVID situation for women empowerment and how they can contribute more economically in these developing nations? What's your idea? What's your guideline? Unmute yourself.
I'm so
Yes.
sorry. Hopefully now I'm audible, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I was saying that while this overall economy has taken a hit, some sectors have converted this threat into an opportunity. And I think this is the time when we need to convert the risk into opportunity. This COVID era had given us this opportunity, and we are set to see immense growth in the post-COVID area. As you said, that what are those sectors technically who are doing really good, or who are also working for economic development, plus the woman empowerment thing. The thing is that a few parts where we see there is a need, like medical things, digital and internet economy. During this course of the pandemic, people have started using digital medium more. For example, what we are today doing is only because of this digital platform available. People have started using digital media for work commitments, education, entertainment. Thus, here we see an opportunity. Now, online platforms for work meetings have seen a massive rise in popularity. Meetings, video calls, everything. Now, the thing is that when we say we are talking about two different poles, we are talking about women empowerment, and we are also talking about betterment of economy. So I think this particular sector, digital and online media, OTTs have seen over the top, over the table network is doing really good. Again, the contribution of women into those OTTs, those entertainment sector is immense. FMCG and retail, again, when people realize that there can be situations where we are locked inside our house for don't know how many days. In India, there was a massive lockdown of almost 70 days, more than 2 months. We are inside our houses. So we understood that there is a need of FMCG and retail. And let me tell you, the women sector of India, the resources of women, they came forward and they really worked wonders both for the digital development and for FMCGs and retails. There were women who were working from their homes to provide packets, to provide food packets to people who were maybe isolated or quarantined or who was in the hospitals. So women know how to convert the risk into opportunities, and they were doing the same. Again, there was immense need of specialty chemicals, for example, the need of sanitizers and these things have suddenly seen a growth, and increased need for cleansing and sanitation has capitalized the demand for hand sanitizers, disinfectants, surface cleaners, things like that. Again, here the women of India are playing an incredible role, especially the self-help groups. Mask, to mention, and we all have, mask has become our second skin these days. Many self-help groups started making thought. Oh, I can see that. That's really nice and cute.
I'm my
In India,
math.
we have, I'll show you. This is ikat, which is a handloom cotton fabric of India. This is handloom, not power loom, let me tell you. And women do this. They one by one thread, women power loom these cotton pieces, and then they convert into these masks. Now these masks are absolutely breathable because of course they are made of cotton. They are good looking, you can match with your dresses. So that's how women have capitalized the whole risky situation. They are actually trying to encash it. And I think women have the brain. The statistics says that the world economy, 66% of the labor is done by the women sector, but they get only 10% of the worth, the wealth. Similarly, the food process, again, 50% is the woman's contribution, and they hardly get 5 to 10% of the wealth, which is really sad. So at least here, we are using our heads. We are doing what we can do the best during this time of pandemic, and we are trying to be economically empowered as well, because that's really, really necessary.
Thank you. Thank you. Professor Nick, I have a questions to you because you are running one of the fastest growing startup, right? In the tech-based company, your company fully tech-based. People from hundred of countries, we are bringing together. We are discussing intellectual things. We are solving many things. Very interesting environment you have, and very positive environment you have. How your tech company can solve these women-related things? How women can contribute more? How IBM TV can engage with more women? And I think we want 50-50 ratio, 50% guest from women.
Right.
I know. Yeah.
Good point. Good point. You're making some good points here, Sharif. I mean, some of the things that we're able to do at IBM TV is to bridge the gap between the United States and all the other countries. In other words, and it's due to technology. In other words, everybody here comes in really well, yet you're miles and miles away from the Research Triangle Park in North Carolina, which I'm beaming from, by the way. I'm in Raleigh, Durham, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning here in Raleigh, Durham. But everybody comes in really clear. The technology has allowed us to do a lot of different things, share ideas. For example, when you were talking about Malaysia and how you're containing the coronavirus, I use this all the time here in the United States to show an example of good leadership and good management as to how you contain coronavirus. When I bring that out to the people in the United States, it's almost they're in shock. Malaysia. First of all, where's that? And then next of all, because remember, the United States, we don't recognize other countries. In case you guys don't know that, in other words, the U.S. Other countries? We didn't know there was other countries out there. So IBM TV, what we're doing is we're bridging the gap so the people in the United States can see people from other countries, like Bangladesh. You just said 160 million people in Bangladesh. I didn't know you had that many people in Bangladesh. I mean, so the thing is, it's able to bridge the gap and also share ideas, because nobody has a monopoly on the best ideas out there. If you go worldwide, you actually are being able to bring in better ideas because you have a bigger pool of people to draw from. 7.8 billion people compared to the US only has 330 million. In India, they have 1.3 billion people in India. So if you go to India, and I try to explain to the people in the United States, even in broadcasting, with Ms. Banjari would know, in broadcasting, they look at how many people watch your show. Well, in the United States, if we had everybody watch our show, we'd have 330 million people. If we go to India, you could have 1.3 billion people. You can never get 1.3 billion people to watch your show in the United States because we don't have 1.3 billion people. I mean, that's the numbers game. And when you look at the top people in the world, you have 7.8 billion people. So when you get all these people together, Sharif, they will have some ideas that we just have never even heard of that you can implement to make the social changes that we're looking for. I do know, like in law, it's changed. 50% of the lawyers and jurists right now are women that go to law school. A lot of them are now in the Supreme Court. And so the thing is, it does take time, but you can actually effectuate a lot of change. And for me, I'm just learning all these. Arita, I want to know more about her PhD program. Since she's in a PhD program, I know that's not easy. And the thing is, it was very impressive to see some of the people here and what they're doing, and we want to bring that to the world, Sharif, in other words, so that right now 122 countries are watching, and so you have to always realize, well, how does this play in Costa Rica, Brazil, and some other countries? The technology has made the change. We could not have done this 10 years ago. It was impossible. They just didn't have the technology. So we're seeing some changes, and it's good.
Thank you, Professor. I want to know more about example. Let's say we are hearing that India is very good on technology. India has a lot of billions of dollar investment from Googles and the Facebooks, and they are doing very good in technology. On the other hand, we are knowing that Bangladesh has digital Bangladesh. Can you share a few of the concept from your countries? What does it mean? How it works? How many people's actually getting involved? Especially how actually women getting benefited from this kind of technological things and other things. I want to start from Shakila, then Orpita, and yes.
Thank you so much. First of all, you see, as a being a part of developing countries, women face more challenges, barriers, and obstacles. From the home to the society to the nation to the workplace to in-laws' homes and everywhere. Wherever we go and whatever we do, we need to face lots of obstacles. There is a sometimes there is a billboard with saying no all the time, no, no, no. So we have to make all those no's to yes. So transfer all those no's to yes. So it's always a challenge in a tech field. The way you said, the digital Bangladesh, or the digitally we are becoming more digitalized, right? So as I already said, that e-commerce, the other person also was saying that digital online platform or digital platform. So we as a representative of Bangladesh, I would like to say that we are actually focusing more on digitalization, e-commerce industry. That means in digital marketplace or online marketplace, where not only tech people will be benefited, but also tech and non-tech, all the people, as I already mentioned about the SME sectors, all the macro enterprises, all the small, medium enterprises, they will also be benefited. And it was, as a woman, we actually faced lots of struggle. lots of barriers and challenges. It's not that easy. It's a male-dominated field. You see, it's a male-dominated field. If we look at any technical, technological field, any SME field, we need to face more obstacles, and from the rural to urban, everywhere. Undoubtedly, it's a challenge. It's always a pressure, but still, I would like to be optimist. I would like to say positively that yes, we are getting. In fact, we are getting lots of support from the government, of the Bangladesh government. We are completely aligned with the Bangladesh government to the like the global podium, like globally. That yes, we are also be a part of global world. We are, digital world. The digital globe. We are also evolving globally. We are also trying to be a part of global digitalization, where all the countries, not only in the developed countries like US or China or Japan, all the developing countries like the South Asian countries, we are also be a part of digital world actually. So that's the main thing I would like to say, and that is how we are actually moving forward, and we are actually looking forward to it. And SME, undoubtedly, as I already mentioned, that we are actually very happy. The Bangladeshi people are very happy because all the multinational companies, all the giant companies, all over the global companies we have in Bangladesh, they are actually moving forward to help all the SME sectors, to to help all the SME sectors to grow more, to have the contribution to the economy of the whole world. And this is how we are actually evolving. So we are very hopeful, inshallah, and we are actually looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to know about the story of India, especially Shanukta, and I want to know more story about women, how women getting more success for developing business, microeconomics, small medium enterprise, especially with the utilization of technology.
Yes, Sharif, I would like to tell you that when I was a student, I used to go to school. If the strength of the class was like 50, then there used to be almost 50-50 ratio of girl and boys, maybe 25 boys, 25 girls. When I started, I mean, finished my school and went to college for a normal honors degree course, the number of girls decreased. I don't know where those girls went. It was, of course, a different college, but then I think this problem do exist in Bangladesh, also in Pakistan and India, all the developing and struggling to develop countries. This condition is there, but and then I mean, okay, maybe during college there were like 15 girls to 30 boys. That was okay, but when I went for my post graduation, when I went for my professional education, and when I saw my brothers who were doing who were studying technology and computers and everything, the ratio of girl students were very, very, very less. It's a saying in India that when you go for IITs, which is the major institute of technology, Indian Institute of Technology, there are hardly 2-3 girls as compared to the whole boys. Now, where are all those girls going who were there right there at the school level? That's where the whole employment gap in technology sector, which you were talking about, mentioning just before Shakila answered, is this is the gap. The gender employment gap in technology sector, I think it is impossible to ignore. Women earn only less than 30% of computer science degrees and hold only 25% of computing jobs. That's really serious. I mean, why women are not participating in technology, knowing that technology is the current thing, it's the future thing, and we don't have a future without technology. Just assume this pandemic of COVID without technology, we would not be able to connect the way we are doing it right. So why we are not trying to fill this gap? Is women not capable of filling this gap? And I'm talking about education because ultimately this education is going to reflect in the economy of the country. So the lack of women in technology roles contributes to a vicious cycle where other young women are deterred from entering the industry due to lack of inspiration, role models, or even a support system. I agree to the fact that Indian women are everywhere. They are at NASA. They are doing good at space. They are doing good flying the fighter flights. They are everywhere. but still our contribution to the technology sector is really bad. And there is an emergence of educational organizations that are addressing this problem. So, of course, as Shakila was saying, that she is optimistic, I'm equally optimistic that woman will find her way. A saying is that, woman is like a reed which bends at every breeze and breaks not even in the tempest. So we do bend ourselves, but we never break. But now it's not the time to just stand, it's also the time to participate in the overall growth of the country. Small industries, maybe through educational sectors, we are doing it in every bit and pieces. But I think there is a lot of gap in technology, or the technology field, and we need to fill up that gap. Then maybe
Mhm,
we'll be very proudly saying that yes, our
mhm,
contribution is visible in the
mhm.
GDP and Indian economy.
Thank you. Thank you. Orpita, what do you want to share about India? We want to know more about remote area. Your area, I think Bihar, right? You can share about your Bihar's women empowerment. I know India has many educated women. Yes.
See, I would like to, means I cannot resist myself from sharing this experience. I would like to share some of the ground experience, as the question is how we are using the technology and how technological advancement is working for us. So, I would like to mention here that, as Sayukta said, that converting the pandemic into the opportunity, right? So there is one of the very beautiful thing which came up in this pandemic, because earlier we did not know that this epidemic would be converted into pandemic, this would go globally. But yes, talking about the technology, I would like to share, as you asked, about the area into which I am living. So there is an organization named Panchasheel here in Hajipur, which is run by Dr. K.K. Krishna. And the thing which I would like to share is that into this organization there are more numbers of housewives. Working women are also there, but the number of housewives are more comparatively. And you would not believe that in this pandemic, how efficiently and how enthusiastically these women are working in the literature field. They are running a particular session into which they talk about this small employment, the cottage industries, basically the extra qualities and the extra generation of employment, which could be run into four walls of the seat. Because as I mentioned that into this organization there are more housewives women, and Sharif, you would not believe that these women are so enthusiastically coming up and sharing their experience of agriculture, farming, herbs plantation, the bakery thing, the food making, and they are doing a lot of creative work. A lot of creation has been doing under this organization, and I am simply amazed, because this is a very bright example of converting the pandemic into the opportunity by using the technology. The women earlier who did not know how to operate the mobile, they are coming live and they are sharing their experience of this pandemic. They are generating small employment. They are into the mask, as Ayukta also mentioned. They are into the mask generation. They are into a lot of a lot of small employment. And in fact, one of the women, I would like to share about her. One of the women have created and have generated her own shop of bakery. So I guess that this would be the very brightest example of using the technology and enhancing and evolving themselves. So by this example, I would say that see, there are nothing which women cannot do, be it a working woman and be it a housewife. So and
Yes.
I found it very very interesting. So I could not resist myself sharing this experience of mine here. People are watching us globally. So I'm glad that I got an opportunity to share my experience.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Professor Nick, like you are one of the progressive professor. So you are not only lawyers. Beside that, you have many dynamic activities through your IBM televisions.
Mhm.
What do you think? What will happen next 3, 4, 5 years, based on the technology? What your predictions, and how we can engage more men and women in terms of economical aspect? Hopefully you understand, in South Asia, in Asia Pacific, women has engagement in economy, but problem is that their economical engagement is not converted even in GDP. This is
Right.
one of the problem of GDP, gross development progress. Women has many contribution from household works to everywhere, but we cannot respect them properly. We
Mhm.
cannot support them properly. That is one of the challenge. And you are also a researcher. I think you can do a lot of research through your organizations. Like, how do you see next? What will happen next 3 to 5 years? How we
Yeah.
can solve these things together?
Yeah. Well, education is really important, Sharif. In other words,
Mhm.
women in technology. I heard the panel talk about we need more women in technology. Having education and getting to the children when they're younger about technology can make a big difference. Early childhood development makes a big difference in people's lives. They've done studies on that. So I'm a big believer that we need to teach elementary school kids
Mhm.
technology. In other words, get it down to the elementary school kids. If you want to have more women in technology, you need to bring the technology to them when they're children and they're in their elementary school. You don't want to wait till they're in high school or wait till they're in college. And we have the technology to actually bring technology to them. At Campbell University, one of the other places I teach here in Raleigh at the law school, the head of the engineering department is a lady, Jana Carpenter. I should have her on. She's really great, Sharif. And she heads the engineering department at Campbell. But I believe we need early childhood education. There's just no question. We underestimate what kids can do, what they can learn, um, how much impact that you have on young people's minds rather than waiting until they're later and then say, okay, here's a computer, take a look at it. And computers, Sharif, are a big difference. Computers, technology, even what we're doing here, you can get people from all over the world, ideas from all over the world, and distribute it to them through this video technology. I believe, Sharif, bandwidth is important.
Mhm.
Okay, everybody here comes in good, but that means you have good bandwidth, whatever you're from. We have a lot of television programming in Africa, and we are having a problems with Africa because the bandwidth isn't that good in
Mhm.
Africa yet.
Mhm.
So bandwidth, being able to connect to the internet, all that can make a big difference in solving the gender equality problems and early childhood education. But we need
Mhm.
to focus in on these things, and then you're going to see a major difference in the world. And also connecting the world, I think also makes a
Mhm.
difference. Like,
Mhm.
I've never
Yes.
been to Bangladesh, I've never been to India, I've never been to Malaysia. Right now, there are
Okay.
things on my map back there. There we go. I got to pull my globe, you know.
Yes, Professor. Today we have another people from Iran. She is a famous scholar. Actually, she's trying several times. Dr. Almira. She's a famous scholar, but somehow internet blocking her, so that's why she cannot join us. I'm sorry about that, but
Oh,
hopefully, if she can, she's trying around 20
okay.
minutes. But
All right.
anyway,
Okay, great.
this is the things. This is the things we have to work together. Now we live in the global village. We have to help each other. We have to collaborate each other. We have to learn from each other. So this is the point. Like Shakila, like you are working with the SME and these kind of things. What the initiative actually government taking right now? What do you want to share about Bangladesh? Is it real digital Bangladesh, or what do you think? What do you want to share with the global people?
Well, as I said, that I'm an optimistic person, but the reality is a bit different. As
Mhm.
you said, there is a lot of lack of policy management. There's a lack of uh, what would I say? It's a, scarcity of fiscal incentives, and management problem, access to finance and bureaucracy, and lots of other challenges. So, but Yet, yes, government is talking about the improvement of SME sector. Not only government, the non-government, the private sectors, as I already said and mentioned, that all the people, even I was actually, honestly speaking, I was not actually a part of in that way in the macroeconomic sector. I'm a technical person. I worked in different kind of technologies, but when this pandemic came, in Bangladesh, as I saw not only me actually, all the people working in the tech field, including all the women, and we actually we thought that let's do something differently. We have some, as I already mentioning again and again, that we have worked in e-commerce sector. It's an online platform, digital platform. It's a worldwide thing. The Amazon or Alibaba, whatever. So why not we take that opportunity, that digital Bangladesh, that global podium, to help the SME people, SME sectors to get into involved with digital platform. That they were only at physical level. They used to sell and buy. They used to produce their products and selling their products to the market physically, but they were not connected with the digital platform. So it is absolutely a pleasure and honor and privilege, I would say, that we have actually introduced all those SME people, the respected young entrepreneurs, small medium entrepreneurs, to get into the account of the digital platform, and they are actually very happy when we see that, and we are developing their portfolio, we are developing their products to the digital market, and all the customers. At the end of the day, customer is all about. Okay,
Mhm,
so
mhm,
we are actually focusing on the customer, the niche
mhm,
market.
mhm,
So the market is actually a medium, a bridge between the customer and the entrepreneurs, the small medium entrepreneurs. So we are actually focusing, we not only as a government sector, but also non-government people, the private sectors, the global companies, all we are actually trying to work together. But still it's not in that way, but we are hopeful, inshallah, hopeful that we will work more together. So not only in our, we also need to help, from our neighbor country, like India. We have our two participants, are very lovely ladies, and the professor, honorable professor. So we and of course the
What
host.
about the United
uh,
States? We're over here.
yeah, and the respected host, Sharif Bhai. I call him Sharif Bhai. I would definitely like to give him a great thanks and a pleasure to share such a global platform, to share our experiences, and and it's really lovely to have the knowledge of the Orpita and Sanyukta already shared. It's really nice, and still the same as we are also, the Bangladeshi people are actually struggling to improve the SME sector. So hopefully we will gradually
Thank
we
you.
will improve. Hopefully,
Thank you. Thank you. Shanikta and Orpita, we want to know more women solution. What type of, you are talking about mask. Can you share some of the example what the women are doing right now in pandemic situations in India, especially your area?
Women are doing every possible thing that they can, and the government is also providing them platforms. There is a government initiative which came after this whole COVID era, not after the COVID era, just to tackle the COVID era. Government came up with this Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, which translate to self-reliant India or self-sufficient India, and this is the vision of our Prime Minister, a bigger and more important part of the global economy, what we are trying to be pursuing policies that are efficient, competitive, and resilient, and being self sustaining and self generating. So, we are trying to generate and make as many things as possible in India, and women are doing every bit to contribute in it. Indigenous products, starting from very basic, maybe food items or daily usage things or FMCGs, then to big and defense related things. We are trying to be indigenous, and that's where the women are contributing. The problem is that Indian women don't enjoy the same rights and privileges as men do. And it's not just about the Indian women. There are other women across the globe who do not enjoy the same rights and privileges as men do. Strong preferences of male child is there in India, and anyway, the identity country's gender ratio of India is very alarming, and it had squeezed the resources available for the girl child. So our struggle is just not to contribute to the economy. That may come at a very later stage, but our struggle starts right when we take a shape in the womb of our mothers. So from there to coming out to the world, to see the world, then to get proper education, then to get the right to make a decision about our own life, and then to contribute to the economy of our nation is a long, long journey. We are doing our bit, and government, of course, is providing support. It's providing funds. Special funds are there for women entrepreneurs. They are also coming up with various startups, as you said, mask making, sanitizer making, small, home-based industries are there. Then they are trying to contribute. They are providing services. See, India, as we are saying that India has a population of 1.3 billion, which is the second largest in the whole world after China. We are the one with the largest chunk of people. So when you say that you have 1.3 billion people, of course, the resources, there is a squeeze of resources, but then there is an opportunity because you need to have services for all those 1.3 billion people. So we are trying to find out all those small opportunities that we can get. Okay, you need services, we'll provide it. You'll need products, you need indigenous products, we'll provide it. What we understand is, success is not the end and failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, and we understand that, and we are continuously, being courageous and doing what we can do the best. We are trying our level best to make a difference, to make a beautiful difference.
Orpita, yes.
Yes, I would like to mention that not only in economic sector or in the materialistic term, I would share some of the ground examples that I have seen some of the women who came forward to develop and to evolve into educational field also. I would like to through an example. There is a junior of mine. One day she called me and she shared her experience. She got married after her college, but she called me up and she said that, ma'am, I would like to do something. I would like to do a degree in education. In means I would like to uh, uplift my education. I asked her that how come suddenly. She said that, ma'am, I was free in pandemic and I thought to evolve myself by studying something. Ma'am, please suggest me any of the course. So that appeared very beautiful to me. Let's see how women are engaging into the opportunistic things, and how she thought to do something creative. So I would say that yes, in this pandemic, people are not only contributing to the economic thing or any materialistic form, they are also contributing to themselves, to their personalities. In fact, I know few of the women who are, you won't believe, who are doing this dietitian course. And out of the curiosity, I asked that how come suddenly this dietitian thing. In fact, one of the seniors of mine is there. She is into this translation course. So I could give few of the examples that where women are into doing all these creative activities, learning few of the new courses. And talking about myself, in fact, I have also utilized this lockdown, and I have also learned some of the cooking part, which I did not know earlier. So see, in these way, we are taking up the opportunities, and the best part is that women are learning, and it could be easily said that women have more potential That means sorry, Sharif, and sorry, Professor Nick.
No, no, I
But
agree with you. I agree with you. No, no, no. Basically, I helped to build up one of the largest education groups inside. I told it, Cambrian Education Group in Bangladesh, and I have to handle human resources. I have to run around 2,000 people. So when I run human resources, I try to give opportunity both in men and women. I'm very honest with you. Women are more capable. Women are more loyal than men. Women are more peaceful and more. They're really really hardworking. I'm really honest on this opinion, and I do even my PhD in based on the glass ceiling factors. I saw that women has many good opportunities and capabilities, but in terms of leaderships, we should give more opportunity to women. Even you can see in this COVID periods, New Zealand, who is the top
Oh
boss
yeah,
for the New
right.
Zealand.
Direct,
You think
right.
about Taiwan,
Iceland,
yes,
New
Iceland,
Zealand, right, right.
Germany, New Zealand.
Yeah, Germany,
Women,
right,
yes,
right. Yeah,
women doing very good.
yes.
So we have to be open-minded. We have to respect not only men and women. All of them are human. This is very
Hmm.
important. So, Professor Nick,
Yeah.
you have a lot of experience. Lot of experience. So, what your advice, especially for these particular points, what you want to share?
What I like to share is to bring these people on my show on Economics Monday. They're all really good. So,
Yes.
sure, if we could do that, and we're also at the hour, just let you know. So we'll probably have to wrap it up. But I think this is really great. I think it's one of the initiatives at the United Nations, and we need to talk more about that. Like I said on our shows, I certainly like to bring more of these ladies on because unfortunately, we do tend to be male dominated here in the United States, and I guess it's all over the world. So we need to change that, and I think using this media and this platform, we can accomplish that, Sharif. So I think you're
Thank you.
doing a great job. And where you got these people from, I have no idea, but they're all really great. And like I said, I'd like to have them.
We are people oriented. Always we have
Right,
connected with
right.
people. Okay.
I'm
So
impressed.
yes,
Right.
thank you, Professor. Shakila and Banerjee, right? So what do you want to give as a concluding remarks? Unmute yourself, Shakila.
She does. You're good. I unmuted you. You're good. Yeah. Yeah,
Can you
you're
hear
good.
me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for having me here. Such a great, lovely session we had together. Hopefully, we will work together in future for any kind of about the SME sector or technological field or any research or we have such a great respected honorable professor and the host, our Sharif. I call him a Sharif Bhai. Very, very, very multi-talented. When he was in Bangladesh, by the way, he was such a multi-talented. He has a very great, good leadership quality, by the way. So, but now he is representing as a Bangladeshi representative in Malaysia, which is another a very good thing. But yet, as the way he said, women and men, we actually balance for equal. We say it a balance for equal. So we need to work hand to hand. We need to work together. Not only it's not about women empowerment. It's actually about human being empowerment. We men and women, we all need to work together. That is all about I want to say. Finally, thank you so much once again for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Yes, again, a big thank you to you, Sharif. It was a pleasure indeed. And as Shakila said, that yes, it's not about gender equality. It's not about, women discrimination, women empowerment. It's about human beings, how we empower us as human being. And of course, we are superior anyway, so we don't need to be equal. That will degrade us. So we are anyway superior. We can reproduce, but jokes apart, it was a pleasure, yes. And I just wish that those who are listening get at least one thing, and they can utilize at least one thing out of this whole discussion and put it to use. In India, whenever I go to file my returns, my tax returns, my CA always tells me that, oh my God, you've been filling your IT returns for a long, long time, because women normally don't do that. Why they don't do that? Because they don't have an account. these basic small things that we need to bring in light. I was telling my hairstylist once that, do you have an account in bank? She said no. I said, please do that. Just make a list of few things that you need to do immediately as soon as you walk out of this office. One thing is to get an account. Second, please start filing tax returns. These are basic small things, but then you'll be able to actually contribute to the GDP or the economy of this nation. Please contribute to the society. Of course, your contribution is, it's incredible, our contribution. But then we need to make it get noticed, and this is how we can do it. Thank you so very much, Sharif and Prabhat.
Thank you. Thank you. This is actually excellent discussions. Always I say, when IBM televisions, I always say, small is beautiful, less is more. There are too much of small economical impact. And if we can bring all of the small impact together, it's a beautiful world. COVID situation, economical challenges, nothing can stop us. Developing nations, country like India, country like Bangladesh, Indonesia, they have lot of potentiality. And developed nation need more breathing with us. When we can breathe together, when we can work together, when we learn together, we can build up the new nations, we can build up the new world. This is my objective, and this is always I try to share with my views and opinion and my philosophy. Always I believe small is beautiful, less is more. Thank you, Professor Nick, and thank you everyone.